Hi Path of Exile community, here's Daxon. There was some interest in my Inquisitor Spellslinger custom crit build. If you haven't seen it yet, I will just show you how the mechanics look like here quickly.
I must have time to gather.
There are also videos uploaded where I do endgame mapping with it, where I do bosses with it. It's viable for at least all content, all endgame bosses. I haven't tried Uber bosses yet. Most likely there are better builds for Uber bosses, and I'm not sure if you can do Uber bosses with it. But there was some questions about the budget version. I created a PoB for that. So there's a budget tree with no cluster jewels in here. You have a lot more elemental avoidance here. And I also created a budget version for the items where I basically just use essences to spam whatever we need. So for example, the wand is just essence of Wrath spammed on the imbued wand and then crafted increased attack speed on it. In this case, we want as much flat damage as possible. In the budget example, I just have a T3 cold damage and the Wrath node. That's all. So pretty bad gear. Most likely you will be able to craft something way better. The core items are, besides that, the helmet is important. You have to get one which has the lab enchant for Spellslinger. On that you will spam some icons to get increased mana reservation efficiency of skills, and after you've hit that you use essences to also craft increased mana reservation efficiency of skills in the normal attributes, and in there then hopefully you spam a few more and get some max life resistances and stuff like that. All the gear here only has resistances and life most likely. The other important craft is the glows. So the glows have plus 70% critical strike multiplier for socketed spells. You can get that on a shaper item. Just craft Reforged Grit with the harvest crafting. You should hit it pretty quickly and yeah, do it a few more times, try to get some life. Maybe some extra energy shields, some resistances. The important part also is that you have an open prefix and can craft projectile spears an additional target. That's important because in the budget version you will not have enough currency to get anomalous kinetic blast. In the high budget version this gives us an free pierce, and in the budget version we just use a craft on the gloves, or on the helmet you can also craft it there to get additional pierce. Then movement speed is in spam on the boots. Amulet is the same shitty one I'm still using. It's just all attributes and all lightning skill gems +1. I still have to change that on my main char. If +1 to all lightning skill gems is too expensive, most likely not, I don't think so. But if it is, you can also remove that and just get attributes, maybe spell damage, some resistances, life, just basic stuff. Then Astral Projector is part of the core of the build. If you don't have this, you can use Arc instead of Shock Nova. But you get this nice clear with Astral Projector and all the Novas overlapping. Then Life Breezy, Unset Ring. You need an Unset Ring because we have too many gems. Belt, again, life resistances, also again with essences. For the flasks, I only have basic flasks here, deactivated the Bottled Faith. For jewels, I only have basic jewels with increased max life and spell damage. Perfect would be a crit multiplier, but obviously, again, budget version. This should be extremely cheap and also gives a lot of extra damage. If we take a look at the tree, we have a little bit more elemental avoidance than on the high budget version. Because of that, it's pretty easy to get elemental avoidance to 100%. So if you, for example, craft on the boots elemental avoidance, you should be able with the tree +1 craft on the boots, for example, to get enough avoidance to be immune to elemental ailments. that's, I would say, all. I think I didn't forget anything. If you have any questions, just ask me on Reddit or in-game. Totally fine. I will try to answer all of your questions, and thank you for your interest.